Boy, I told him what I was doing. Sheesh.
Got that beard lice.
And we're live. Well, first thing people hear is beard lice. I mean, hello everyone. You know, we got a great panel here. Welcome to another episode of the Pixelated Echoes. I'm 3-Bit, and we are on episode 3 of the show. And we got some great topics to get into, and also some surprises and prizes. I know.
Ooh,
yeah,
I like that.
So thanks to everyone in the chat for dropping on in. I see a couple of people already coming on in. So we will try our best to get to any questions. I try to really be active with you guys in the comments. Appreciate everybody that comes on these shows. And you know, follow us, subscribe, hit that like button, all the things. And before we get to the topics, I'm here to introduce the lovely panel here, starting with a special guest. He's someone that I definitely admire in the content creation space. Meant a lot for him to show up pretty early too. It's only episode 3. So I really means a lot that we can get you on here for a special edition episode. We usually have the shows on Sunday, but hey, do a special one on Tuesday. It's early on in the journey. So we got the leader of the Mustard Heart movement, the man who holds the line. No. Mustard-hearted minions fall around this man. All right. He stars on several podcasts, which includes the Iron Lords podcast, as well as his own show, the Xbox Frontlines. Great show. You guys check it out. KingDavid, welcome to the Pixel Kingdom. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I am not the leader of the mustard-hearted dudes. First and foremost, those guys are soft, weak, and intolerable. Okay, so first and foremost, no. But no. Definitely couldn't wait to get onto the show. I know the lengths that you went through to do it on this day, because I know Sunday is absolutely brutal for me. I can't do 6 hours on Iron Lords and do anything after that. After that, I go right to bed because I work at night. But I'm so happy to be here today, and especially, you know, Fuzzy and my boy Mav. Mav doesn't know he's nighttime required watching. Like he really doesn't understand. Like, I don't know how my YouTube knows that. I could fall asleep watching Forbidden Minds or something like that. I don't care. Whatever it is, it used to fall off on Rand and Jez. Now it's Mav. Like, whatever Mav is doing, it'll pop up on his channel. And I guess my TV likes Mav more than anything. So I'm happy that I'm here with him.
Yeah.
I did it on purpose.
Mav absolutely kills it, and I'm honored to be on his shows and see him grow over time, and he's one of my good friends for sure. And why not? Mav, you are next. And I can't forget Mav, you know, another special guest, someone who was the first guest on this show, actually. This man has had several gaming podcast shows, including Xbox Ultimate Podcast, PM in the PM with Pong Soul. Great show. One of my favorite shows out there for sure. Their chemistry is amazing. Love you both. And also the FSP podcast, the show I'm a part of, the fun of speculation, the Maviwine, pony riding, animal cracker singing. My good
pony
friend
riding.
Mav.
Yo,
How you doing?
I think
today?
you're getting us confused there.
I think I'm
good.
this one off, man.
I think I did that perfectly.
Yes, I guess. What's up, man? No, it's good to be back here on Pixelated Echoes episode 3. You have now a full-time co-host in Fuzzy Belvedere. I gotta say that's an awesome choice to have him here. What was that? No, you're good.
All good.
Yeah, but no, it's awesome to have Fuzzy here. To see that you two are going to be doing this together is absolutely awesome, man. King, absolutely love you, dude. Seeing you on Iron Lords and also your own channel now you've been killing it. And yeah, I appreciate the kind words, and Even if you didn't start watching me, if you wake up at some point and realize I'm on your YouTube, that's enough for me, man.
Yes.
That's enough for me,
Thank
dude.
you.
But 3-Bit's awesome, bro, and I love what you're doing here. Keep it going. Let's have some fun today, man. It's gonna be awesome.
I apologize. I was sending it to my wife and I didn't know that my volume was all the way up. And she's like, "Where you at? Where you at?" I said, "I'm with Lakeith."
Yeah, I was on ILP and it was so funny when I rewatched it and I seen King's reaction. Like he was just like, just chilling. He was like, do, and then he did this double take. It was the funniest thing. You guys should definitely.
Okay, all right. I got to give context. Okay, so the night before, people don't understand the genesis behind the shades, right? So the only day of the week I get off is on Saturday, right? Friday, Saturday, and then shut everything down for Monday. So I'm gonna have some drinks. I'm gonna party. I'm gonna have fun, right? All right. So drink the night before. Coming to the show, and I just rushed in. So I think I just got there like a minute or two before the show started. So, we there, and I didn't see the name. And I just saw the Book of Clarence the night before. I look up and said, "Oh, snap, Lakeith Stanfield." I'm like, "Yo, the harder they fall." I'm like, "Yo, it's Lakeith Stanfield." I said, "Yo, Cog and them, oh man, they the best." And
You got the best guests on the show.
I said, "Yo, I don't know how they scored this one, but this one ranks up there as the best." So the whole day, if y'all watch that show, I am laughing to myself because I told him about it, right? So I'm laughing to myself on how I fooled myself because I have my shades on. So I'm looking up like, what?
I don't even think even without the shades, man. It's like sometimes it's a double take.
Yep. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to admit it, but I'm pretty sure that he gets free stuff just off of that strength. Like, "Oh, I saw you in Atlanta. It was so amazing." Like, yeah,
Hey, Lakeith is copying me. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. However you work it. He said, "Send me the checks. Give me his checks."
It was funny. I just watched that movie. And the people I was watching with some friends were like, "Dang, that does look like you."
Told you.
I guess what was that movie called? Was it the
Harder They Fall?
The Harder They Fall.
Yeah, that's a good movie, dude.
That's a good movie, guys.
Hell yeah, it was a dope movie.
Definitely check.
I loved his dynamic with his adversary, which he teams up with inside.
You mean the
Book of Clarence?
Yeah,
like
King?
I forgot the kid's name, but he was like the fast drawing kid.
Oh,
and
yeah. He was from Straight Outta Compton too.
Yeah,
that guy. He played Easy E.
He wasn't that.
Yeah.
And he was trying to tell him, like, 'cause he really admired him. He loved his spunk, and he was just like, "Yo, I'm a cold-hearted villain, bro. Like, I'm gonna do something, and this is not gonna work. You could be faster, but I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah, I was hoping he had that match with him, but he had too good of a.
He did have a match, but the match ain't work out. One of the best movies that Jay-Z produced. Jay-Z produced that movie, and Jay-Z produced the Book of Clarence. Both of those movies are noteworthy in the cast, the director, the mission, the thought process. If you look at what's going on with the Harder They Fall, the villain himself, he was fighting for an all-black town, having all-black currency, and that's a true thing. That's a true story. They was just telling that story from that perspective, but they cast him in a villain mode to make you believe that he's actually the villain. When he was hunting down his pops and all that other stuff, you got to see the psyche of the motivation of the man and why these people followed this man. They didn't follow him because he was an evil person. No, they followed him because he was a man on a mission to deliver a purpose to his people. And it really wasn't about himself. It was more about the people. The movie is spot on. Like, and then, Book of Clarence also has a message. If you are 5% or you study stuff like that, that's exactly what the movie goes through. And it goes through the questioning, the thought process of Christianity. Was this stuff real? And giving real thought provoking questions, but at the same time, telling a funny story to keep you enthused going along with it. So if you can watch the message and get the message throughout the film, it also answers and says a lot of the stuff could be possible. Was it possible? And it makes you think about it and gives you a chance to go back and research history how we hear it and how we see it, and make you go out to find out more things about yourself. Because the movie is about yourself, to be honest with you.
I had no idea Jay-Z produced it. That's interesting.
Yes,
he's in a lot of different things, man. Sports and entertainment, all different kinds.
Yeah, what in the world?
His art world is crazy.
That is
it's good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, I can't forget my co-hosts, the show, Fuzzy, someone who agreed to jump on this pixelated journey with me, the race car enthusiast, the man, the myth. He's actually, again, I mentioned this, he's famous, right? You had Felix, I'm Lakeith, okay? Sure, I'm Lakeith. But Felix the cat, you guys seen that cartoon? This is him. This is the guy right down there. That's Felix the cat. So Fuzzy Belvedere, thanks for jumping on the show with me, brother. How you doing?
Oh man, awesome to be here. We got some awesome guests tonight. Man, this is going to be a special episode. I can feel it. But so glad King joined us. So glad Mav joined us. Man, so much awesome news in the gaming space. I mean, there's some bad news here and there for the industry overall, but there's so many games, and there's something pretty special coming up just a day from now. So
tomorrow.
Yeah, something's happening tomorrow. We will definitely get into that. But let's figure out what some of you guys are playing. So I always like to open the show with what you guys are playing, if anything. I finally finished this game called Coffee Talk.
Oh, that's a good game.
Yeah. I'm glad you like it.
No, it's a good game because we found it at PAX East. Shout out to Hector. That was his first time doing interviews. I was training him on how to do interviews, and Coffee Talk was one of the games that he wanted to interview so bad. We got a chance to get the game while it was in early development. He got the interview. We put it up on lordsofgaming.net. Shameless plug. But the game is a dope game, and I got a chance to learn more about the game with the developer because he was like right there on site. It was dope.
I mean, what was he saying? I gotta hear it.
Well, he was saying how it came about. The thought process of how it came about is just conversations that you will have in a coffee shop, and the manifestations of that from that concept right there. Because he was having coffee, he's like, this could be a game, and it went from that spot to what it actually turned out to, relationships within the coffee shop, which is dope.
That is dope. Yeah, when I play it, what I like about it is just the people that approach you in the game, they are just comfortable being around you as the barista, and I just find that so cool. Like everyone that comes into the shop, they are just interested in you. They are interested and just being in this chill environment over time, and I just find that's pretty dope. So yeah, I've been playing Coffee Talk. I beat WWE 2K23, so now I am jumping back into Alan Wake 2. I'm trying to beat that game before I jump back into the universe of Starfield. I still haven't beat Starfield. It's because every time I play Starfield, I get lost. I just you
get squirrel syndrome.
Yeah, just that's me. I have that with Starfield, man. I walk around, and then I'm starting to do a mission, and I'm like, ooh, what's over there? And then I start walking around.
Squirrel. Yeah, that's me. But you know what? Okay, my shameless addiction to that game is I like to steal ships. I'm just I have like 13 or 14 ships that I've stolen, and the bodies are still in the ship.
Every time I try to steal a ship, they fly away before I can do it. Like how?
Now you got to be nice with it. I'm nice with it.
Okay.
I'm nice. No, I kill the people. I mean, hey man, it is what it is. What it was, that girl Sarah, she can't stand me. I could put her someplace. I'm like, stay over here, and I don't want you to see the atrocities that I'm about to commit. And I'll just go commit some atrocities. She's like,
close your eyes.
You. I'm like, come on, girl, don't leave me. Come on, baby. Just a little murder.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a pinch.
Start covering your eyes.
Yeah, cover your eyes while you
need to see this. Oh man, yeah. Starfield, man, is just one of those games. It might take me a while to beat. I think eventually I mean, I got a lot of the powers. That is one thing I wanted to make sure I
Yeah.
got. I heard from other people that you get some of the powers and it makes it a little bit of a better experience. So I got the powers. Like, yeah, this is dope. I'll be having some force
I like
powers.
the time stopping. Yeah. Like,
Yeah. Sorry if I spoiled anything, but y'all, it's been out for a bit.
what's up?
It's been out. So
Said what? They got powers. Yeah, they got powers. I was waiting for the DLC. I thought it was gonna be powers in the DLC. Sucker, it's DLC now. Go get it.
Yep. Go pick that game up. It's freaking dope. So yeah, I mean, I'll open up to you guys. So those are the games I've been playing or about to play. What are you guys playing? I'll open up to Mav, I guess, first. When we last talked, I believe you're trying out some different games. What are you playing currently?
Same thing, really, man. I've been Helldivers 2, Last Epoch, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I'm about to start playing Unicorn Overlord. I really want to get into that. But I just been like playing a lot of different stuff, not like getting really sucked into one thing too much, you know. And that's probably, you know, I'm a little bit of a grazer. There's just so many freaking games to play right now, dude. Like there's Steam is just constantly, every time I go there, there's something new. Game Pass deals, there's always something new to play on Game Pass with games coming. And then now tomorrow we're gonna find about even more games because there's gonna be new game announcements tomorrow. So it's just too like sometimes it's too much, but everything is so good right now with a lot of these games. Like they're reviewing well, but really it's the variety that I like. Because I like to play all these different kinds of genres and stuff. So there's just something for every itch that I have.
Pause.
And that's
that's called Bassinstration.
That's scratching all my itches. Yeah, like they got. I mean, it's like really you got like ARPGs, you got co-op multiplayer shooters. You know, you got survival games, you got JRPGs. It's just like everything under the sun, dude. Like something I gotta give Steel Rain a shout out because I'm gonna give this game a mention. Okay, he had hit us up in DMs like 2 weeks ago, and this guy had put a game on Steam like for free, like a little prologue, right? And checked it out. And it's freaking amazing, dude. And like, I think he's trying to drive hype for like potentially allow himself to get more funds to do more with it. But if you played Dreamcast back in the day, you may remember a game called Tokyo Extreme Racer.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite games of all time, right? And this game is like, it's like a sim Tokyo Extreme Racer. It is absolutely amazing. It's called Night Runners.
Okay.
Night Runners, and check it out. It's kind of got like slightly like retro graphics, but it's done in a good way. The cars like kind of handle more sim-like, but they're not like real cars. You know, like it's like instead of a Nissan Silvia, it'd be called like a Sanin Elvisa or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, but it looks like a Silvia. So it's just it's something so unique, man. I've been craving a game like that for so long. You do like pink slip racing. You have like bets on highway races and stuff like that. So Night Runners on Steam. Check that out.
Okay. Well, that's going to be on the show tomorrow, or that's just a game you've been.
No, that's just a random game that Steele told us about. You know, it's called Night Runners Prologue. It's a prologue for it on Steam right now.
Heck yeah. Wrote that one down. And to the King, what games have you been checking out, man? What you been up to?
So my stupid behind, it was Dustin Day inside my one of my video game rooms. So when I do Dustin Day for statues, is usually I pick a room, and it's like every 2 weeks I'll dust, and then pick another room, dust. Well, this time it was for the video games. So that's the video game room. I go upstairs and I'm dusting, and you got to take everything out. Excuse me. And you saw the guys talking about, I see the wires. The wires is atrocious. Look here, idiot. First of all, I'm a man's man. I just plug it and leave it there because I know that thing is not going to stay actually. And I know you're going to say, but you can hide the wires, King. I don't give a damn. All right. That's just not my thing. It's my room. I don't care. You don't like it. Don't look. Right. You're not here anyway. It's just me. So I have to dust off all my consoles, but I got to plug them in. And I got to make sure they work, right? So I put in my Super Nintendo. My Nintendo, I was playing Bubble Bobble. I was playing that for a minute. And then I did my Super Nintendo. I was playing ActRaiser. I played a couple of Mario, Castlevania. That was fun. And then I plugged in my TurboGrafx. I think I stayed the longest on TurboGrafx. I was playing Ninja Spirit, Air Zonk. I played Bonks 1 and 2. I played a couple of the CD games. I was getting into it. Then I had to clean off the Neo Geo, got into the Neo Geo. I was like, I'm playing Fighting Street. Fatal Fury, doing that. So then I have this arcade cabinet, had to clean that off. And, I had to test those games because that thing got like 62,000 games. So I'm sitting there playing. Now, she asked me how long it was going to take me to clean the room, dust the room. I said, it's going to take like 45 minutes. I was in there 5-6 hours, bro. And she comes in there and she hears the sounds and she was like, yo, you playing? Like I'm like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. So needless to say, I got to go back up there dusting again.
Yeah, that happens, right? When you clean a room, you're like, all right, let me finally do something. You find something in the closet and you're like, oh, what's this?
Yes. I didn't even get to the my ROG section and my Steam section that I have those hooked up to a monitor. So I'll go over there and, play those over there on that side. And that's, pure emulation on that front. I think those machines open up a whole new world of handheld gaming on the go, and just retro gaming within itself. Game preservation. I just saw what Nintendo did with Yuzu, and I thought that was kind of crappy. But I think Yuzu took the smart way out and is saving itself all the legal trouble and doing the cool thing with them. I like game preservation. I own the majority of those games, and for whatever reasons, either I had to sell them or whatever, those are gone. But I wanted them, back into my life. Excuse me. And it's there. So thank God for Steam. Thank God for ROG. Thank God for, emulation. But I owned them before. So I don't want to hear you guys talking about King's a pirate. I'm not really. Stop. No.
Yeah, game preservation. That's something that I've been thinking about ever since this Yuzu thing came up with Nintendo. They got some sniper lawyers, like
gangsters.
Goodness. They got some gangsters over there. Goodness, every time someone makes a fan game for them or does an emulation thing, when Nintendo refuses to make like a different version of the game, or maybe it's expired, they don't have a port of it, you'll have a fan out there like, oh, I can do that, I'll just get a version out there, and Nintendo's like, what? Word? And they send snipers to his house. Yeah, that's
so you can't handle the truth.
it's sad though. Like it's cool that, I mean, here's the thing. I think Nintendo, they can protect their IP, but at the same time, emulation is in a way protecting the library of games that aren't being supported by Nintendo. So it's just like, it's kind of annoying to me.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that person that has a whole bunch of stuff like in the attic, and you go up there and touch it, be like, oh man, don't touch my stuff, man. Hey man, but you wasn't using it, and I wanted to use it. Nah, man, I have plans for that. I'm gonna do that in like 10, 15 years from now. Don't you touch that, man. Like put a cease and desist on your behind quickly.
Yeah. That's a good way of looking at it.
The main problem for me with that is like, we don't know what the future of the compatibility is of the games on Nintendo. Like, we don't have faith with it, right?
Yep.
So like, if they are trying to get rid of people that are going to emulate our library, let us emulate our library on future hardware, right? Like, even if it's handhelds for PC handhelds or whatever, getting rid of that ability gives Nintendo more power to screw us over and do like the $60 3-month only Mario barely changed type games. You know what I mean?
Gangster.
And I don't want to live in that world in the future where that's the only way we can get those kind of games.
You don't want to
know
live
what
in
I
a Game Pass infected world, sir, where you own nothing and they can shut you out at the drop of a dime? No.
I'll take
No?
a game. I'll take the Game Pass world. I'll take the access and forward compatibility promises that Xbox makes with their backend. The stuff they talked about with the business update event. The things that they said were fundamental. The fundamentals that they talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like we shareholders.
Right. I want those things. I don't trust like Nintendo to give me access to my digital purchases in the future.
Yeah, they too quiet over there, bro. You know, never trust the quiet kid, bro. Never trust that kid. You don't know what his intentions are.
They're walking around playing Pokemon Go, you know, on their mobile phones, walking around in the middle of a city with crossing the street. I don't trust those guys.
I don't trust the guys that allow you to get to the hood. This is when I know Pokemon Go was out of control. They had dudes in Compton with their phones like, oh yeah, I'm going to get that. And they're like, yo, cuz, what you doing over here? I'm here for this Pokemon. Is a rare one. Is a Kripichu. I gotta go over there.
Kripichu.
You won't be doing that to me today. No, you won't, sir.
What they should do is in Pokemon Go with like areas like Compton, they should have the Pokemon trainers in the app. Like, nah, turn around. Like,
right. Those are the most fearless people on the face of the planet. I'm telling you, I've seen it. Like, I've seen them in the Bronx. I've seen them in the middle of Central Park at 2:00 in the morning chasing a Pokemon. On God and them, that is a level of balls that I don't have. Pause. Like, I'm just saying. And they'll be by themselves, and you be like, why is that Asian girl in the middle of the park? Oh, this is a setup. What is going on here? And she's like, got him, and just dip off.
All right. He's like, all right, I got it. Bye. Yeah, I mean, that was me. That was honestly when Pokemon Go first came out, I was like going in some areas I definitely would not be going.
Yeah. See? Yeah. Because they told you it was a rare Humagachubin over there, and you was there, son. like you was there. I was not falling for. I said, this is a setup app. Like, what if the ops is like, yo, yeah, we found out how to hack his phone, man. We gotta let him know it's a rare Moochie
cool you get
over here.
You get the water Pokemon near an actual pond.
You're gonna get the water Pokemon too. They got a dirt Pokemon too that they put right there next to the tombstone.
It's like they did a little too much for that game, but you know,
snatching your iPhones. Yo, they will hunt you down for that app. Are you crazy? You don't need no air tags. You don't need nothing. You're not getting away from them if they have their phone and they looking for their Pokemon and you run away with their phone. Oh man, they're gonna hunt you down. They don't care how big you are.
Dudes wouldn't even pick their heads up when they're crossing the street. You know what I mean? They just like staring at their phone, like just aimlessly walking. And should I go down that deep dark alley in the middle of the night? No, but you know what?
There's a Pokemon down there.
Pokemon down there. I think it's worth it tonight.
They do this with their finger too.
Yeah, I'm walking here.
You beeping your horn?
No, you're inside of their house and you're just like.
Got him. Walk right inside your bathroom. You on the toilet? Like, got him.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing in my house? How'd you get in here?
I took a poo at you. I got a poo at you.
I'm trying to catch this Pokemon. What about you, Fuzzy? What games have you had the chance to play recently?
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon.
No Pokemon, but been playing like my normal rotation, playing Forza Horizon 5, collecting the cars for the week. GT7, still doing like custom races and stuff like that, but the game I keep on going back to right now, ever since the career mode update, is Undisputed. I for the most part, it's a great boxing game. considering EA won't, revisit that, and I guess with licensing being what it is,
Yeah, ain't happening.
and certain, boxers wanting a bigger bag than some companies are worth. Yeah, Undisputed's a nice game right now as far as for the boxing fans.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How do you feel the fact that they don't have any PBC fighters?
With the creative character right now, I'm pretty sure some people are going to try to make some of those fighters, but it would be nice if they had that licensing as well, and start bringing them in, even if it's like DLC. I'd be willing to pay an extra 30 to 50 or whatever for a good number of those fighters, but
yeah,
they definitely need to add more to the catalog of fighters that they have. But
we talked
yeah.
about it to the developer because we got a chance to see it. I think it was at PAX East, I think, again. And they was happy that they had Bud Crawford, and I was like, yeah, but you ain't got no Earl though. Like, and dude, yeah, he got the last laugh on that one. Anyway, and needless to say, that fight didn't happen yet, but now he got the last laugh. So the next time I see him, I see you. But it was like you needed certain characters to me, certain fighters to me that will solidify our era. And the fact that the PBC fighters like the Charlo brothers aren't available there, David Benavidez, these fighters, if they're not going to give us the fights in the ring, at least we can make these fights manifest them, like greatest heavyweights and those games of back in the days. I think the reason the lore that we had with Knockout Kings and Fight Night and these stuff like that is we was able to make these mythical matchups that can never happen, or those matchups that the fighters are not willing to give us, like Lennox Lewis versus Riddick Bowe, stuff like that. These things that we never got a chance to get that we could just dream about. And Undisputed is carrying that legacy forward of fighters that we just won't have. So I mean, I love the game, but I just wanted to ask you that question on that. That's about it.
Yeah,
very rarely I get fellow boxing enthusiasts to talk to.
Yeah, because EA they went the route of UFC, right? They're not going back
more
to
money.
And I loved Fight Night Champion. That was like one of my favorite games for a minute. And some people said it was like it's because of the boxing sport not being as watched, but I don't know. I feel like you get some celebrities on there. It's still like a pretty watched sport, and I love boxing.
It's not that. It's okay. So the UFC, you can just deal with one entity, and they are all on the 360 deals, right? So they purchased the license for UFC, mess with Dana White and whoever actually owns it, and that's it. Boxing, you have to mess with different promoters, different individual boxers, work out different fees. And for Undisputed to get the roster that they do have, that's an incredible accomplishment within itself. So I'm not, throwing any shade on them, because they did go out and they had to do boots on the ground, had to talk to these guys. And they said a lot of guys did call them to want to be included into it, type of thing. But it kind of sucks that we're not going to get a chance to see the full roster of what we know boxing is today. But I am appreciative of the hard work that they did put in right now early on. And it shows. It's really good. It's a good game.
Yeah. For sure. I do want to check out that game. The last time I seen it, it was pretty early in beta. I guess Fuzzy, it's coming out pretty soon.
They should be at 1.0 before the end of the year. They just did the career mode and the character creator. They got to work out a few more bugs that were introduced with that, but overall it's playing well. The flat-footed movement and stuff like that, as far as if you gas yourself out, I'm glad that they've added that in there. They've balanced things a little bit better. But it's probably a year away from coming to console, and I know once it comes to console, that'll probably be the moment that EA decides to kind of switch gears or something. But it'd be nice to see it reach the consoles as well here soon.
Heck yeah. So let's jump into this first topic. So there's a lot of gaming news that's been happening over the past few weeks, and we'll definitely get into some of those. But the first one I want to get into is the Xbox Partner Preview Showcase. That is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Mike Nelson from the Xbox Wire posted, and I'm going to quote it. He says, "Today, we're thrilled to announce the Xbox Partner Preview, this time featuring a mix of new and upcoming games for you from publishers like Capcom, Nexon, EA, and others, with more than a dozen new trailers over the course of a 30-minute broadcast." And he continues, "During Xbox Partner Preview, you can learn more about combat and traversal and tales of Kenzera Zhao, with a video narrated by Abubakar Salim himself. See new gameplay from Kunitsu Gami, Path of the Goddess. Get a closer look at the first Berserker, Kazan, and other great titles coming to Xbox, Windows, or Game Pass." A lot of those titles, goodness gracious, I almost struggled saying some of those. So he goes on to like details of the event. It is tomorrow on March 6th. I personally don't even know what to expect coming from this event. I was on Mav's show yesterday, and we kind of speculated on what games that could be there, being that this is a third-party showcase coming from Xbox. Hades 2 was a game that we talked about that maybe could make an appearance. We talked about Replaced, was another game that is slated to come this year. There was a game that was replaced, that basically replaced, which was The Last Night, a very similar game in style and camera motion. The last I heard from The Last Night, it had a presentation from its studio, Odd Tales, in October, kind of going over its systemic simulations in the game, and kind of talking about scripting and how they had to rethink its systems to be usable throughout the game. So I guess my question is, and I'm opening up to you guys, what do you expect out of this partner preview? What games are you guys kind of looking forward to from that list, or maybe games you guys think could be there? And are we looking at some surprises? You guys think friggin' Sega might drop in, like, we're being acquired by X? I don't know.
That'd be crazy as hell.
Yeah. So what do you guys think will be there? I'll open up to you first, King.
I really didn't know what would be there. I was gonna do a video today, but I'm doing a show today, so I was like, that's it. I'm gonna relax tonight. No show today. Be honest with you, I was curious to see more of the Capcom game. I thought the Capcom game looked really good because I thought it was going to be Omnimusha, but it's a new IP, and I said, all right, cool, this is dope. I want to see more into that going forward. When they said they're going to have 12 plus trailers, I'm like, 12 plus trailers? Some of the stuff is coming to Game Pass. I'm like, what the hell is gonna be here? Like, this is like the best feeling in the world, that you're showing up to a show, and they're like, we did our first party stuff, because we can speculate really easy with the first party stuff. Like, we're gonna do a first party show, and be like, all right, they could show Valve, they could show Perfect Dark, they could do this, that, and third. Nah, this is third party. Wait a minute. So who y'all in bed with? Is Square gonna show up? Is Kojima gonna have more of his game there? And then that's a ways off. But like we thought, Indiana Jones was a way off. And plot twist, that's this year. So there's a lot of titles that could just been in development. Like what is that? Wukong. That game could show up there. There's titles that we know about that could now be under the purchasing power of Microsoft, with getting them to the front of the stage. So is it games that we didn't know about that's going to show up? I really need Replace to come out. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and it's blowing my mind every time I see it. Do we get that? I'm more inclined around the Game Pass stuff, the day and date dropping in Game Pass feelings, because to be honest with you, I don't have the bandwidth for 12 new games this year, going along with the 10 games from Microsoft. We might see Stalker 2 there, updated Stalker 2, because we know that's launching this year, and more about the polishing of that game and what the studio is going through in getting that game out. And, what turns did they take during that? So if I had to put a bet down, I'm going to go with Stalker 2 showing up there for us to get a little bit more into that game. That, and we already know the Capcom game. Those are the two probably I'm the most intrigued about. But really, to be honest with you, I'm going there looking for a whole bunch of level of me screaming at the TV screen with super excitement, like, oh, I didn't expect that happening, type of thing. I want that energy tomorrow.
Heck yeah. And Cypher Type in our chat, he said just looked up the last night. It was announced in 2017 as an Xbox One launch exclusive. Wow, yeah, that game has gone through some trouble. That is for sure. But both games look beautiful, and I really hope the last night, with its recent sort of announcement, that they basically had to redo some stuff behind the scenes. That game is also gonna come out. But hey, Replace is slated to come this year. So, and what King mentioned, there's some titles to look forward to. I did forget about Stalker 2. That could show up here. I do wonder, since that game was kind of almost treated like a first party title, not really, but in a way with how they treated it in some of those events, maybe it will show up at another showcase. But I mean, it's also a third party, so maybe it could show up here because it is supposed to come out this year. What about you, Mav? What do you think could show up at this showcase?
Man, I'm like King. I got no clue, bro, because they said 12 plus games. We know 3 of them, right? It's the 3 games that are a handful to say, each one of them. So there's the one that was premiered at the Game Awards from the what was his name? Abubakar Salim, I think. Am I saying that? Right, yeah. He's the he talked about his dad and stuff and that whole story, right? So that's an EA original, because I mentioned 3 publishers there as well. So that was the EA original, so that counts for EA. Then you got Path of the Goddess, which is the Capcom game. They had mentioned Capcom. And then you got the Berserker game, which was Nexon, which they had mentioned Nexon as well. So the 3 publishers they mentioned, they already mentioned the 3 games. So that means that for the 9 other plus games that are going to be there, we have no clue what publisher could be. Could be anything. Could be anything absolutely under the sun that is not first party. And most games are not first party. So literally, we can see absolutely anything here. I don't think we're going to see like the biggest things in the world here. Like we were talking about it last night. Like, I don't think like a Star Wars Outlaws or like a Dragon Age Origins, or not Origins, a Dragon Age 4 shows up here. I think like those are more probably for like a bigger stage. But I do think there's room for surprises for sure. They have usually at shows like this a couple surprises. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a couple of indie type game announcements at this thing, because they said in that blog post, they said new game announcements and updates, right?
Yep.
So that's the most exciting thing for me, is knowing that we're going to have new games revealed. And what those are, I don't know. It could be smaller games, could be from indie studios, could be from bigger publishers, but like new IP type stuff, could be another Game Pass deal for another publisher. Somebody in the chat mentioned Flintlock. That could show up. Yeah. That's a go, because that's a game that's in Game Pass, right?
Black Panther, EA. Like what?
There's the Amy Hennig game too, with a Skydance Media or whatever, with the Black Panther / and Captain America game. You could have. We talked about it last night. Silk Song, right? Because that's supposed to be this year, and that's another Game Pass Day 1 game. I think out of those 3 that they mentioned, the only one that we know is supposed to be Game Pass Day 1 is Path of the Goddess. So out of the other 9
the
plus,
33 Immortals could be there.
Yeah,
Immortals
could be there. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm thinking we're going to see some of that stuff, updates on ones that are supposed to be this year, that are some Game Pass Day 1 games. I think we're going to see some from some like partners that we're not used to seeing with Xbox. You know what I mean? Like that's where it gets like, okay, this is
Square.
Yes, like it's Square. Square shows up with like another game, right? Because we're getting Unicorn Overlord. right, like
Yo,
this
what
week.
the hell is this game, bro? Like, what is this game? I got to look it up now because this is like the fourth time I heard it, and I thought people was trolling me. So obviously,
No,
it's
man,
not a troll,
it-
and everybody's too excited for something that sounds too Like, what's up, man?
This is a like think okay, so it's made by Vanillaware, right?
That is sus within itself.
Okay, so let me they're like a famous like JRPG developer that makes a lot of handcrafted art stuff, right? And
Oh, okay.
if you think of past titles in this style, right? You could think of games like a Final Fantasy Tactics stuff.
I gotta
like
look
that,
this thing
right.
up, man.
And when I see Unicorn Overlord, I see Final Fantasy Tactics screams off the page to me. Ogre Tactics, right? The stuff like that from the past. Now this game is more of it has more strategy elements too. So it's a strategy JRPG, strategy/tactics JRPG. In the mode of the old school titles like that, right? And the thing is unique about this one, King, is like these are the ones that usually skip Xbox, right? These are the ones that they're like, it's only worth putting on Switch and PlayStation because that's where the audience is, right? So we're finally like getting one of those types of games. And for me, these are reasons why I've made a point to have a Switch or a PlayStation before, so I don't miss out on these kind of games, right? Because I also like these things, right? So if we see more of this kind of stuff,
looks good.
it looks fantastic. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, that's why I muted myself. I don't play demos, but
Me neither.
nah, listen. And even if they tell you that stuff carries over, they got you jumping through hoops. But the game looks good. Like, surprise!
Yeah,
Put me in Game Pass to get my black behind in there.
yeah, that eventually maybe, right? But like, I like seeing things that we haven't seen before from them, or that things that skipped for a while. Like a dream situation for me, like an announcement type thing to be at a show like this would be like, okay, we're partnering with Mistwalker Studios again, and we're going to make another Blue Dragon or Lost Odyssey, right? Like
I thought they lost those IPs.
They don't own the IPs. I think Mistwalker owns them, right?
Yeah, I think Miss Walker maybe lost them. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. You know what I mean? Like original creations made for like the audience, you know, from like legendary developers or something like that. Something we've missed out on a lot on the Xbox. Like I that would be a dream scenario and something that would fit well at a showcase like this. But then you also could just have like typical big publisher stuff. You know what I mean?
I want console war stuff.
You want console war stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, I want stuff to make people cry. Like I want Final Fantasy remake
exclusive on Xbox.
Yeah, no, I don't want exclusive. I don't want exclusive. I want your girl. Like I want your girl. I want your I want your boo. I want what you cuddled up with at night right now, and I just want you to be looking over like she's with him too.
Like if Square
like
shows
Spider-Man,
up,
what are we talking about?
But even Final Fantasy 16, it could be like I would think 16 right now would be more of a candidate than even.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah, you can slide that over.
But I mean, it disappointed them with sales. You know?
Yeah. We'll support her. You'll see my pre-order that same day, that minute it happened. I'll show you exactly how we treat you over here, boo boo.
Yeah.
I'll buy the deluxe.
Showed up and had a whole Final Fantasy segment. Right? And now we're gonna reach the Final Fantasy portion of the show. We're like, what? What's going on? Yeah.
I mean, they were at the Dev Direct, right?
They made, but like there. Final Fantasy 14's and there right now. So like, they talk about that and be like, oh, but guess what? There's more.
Wait.
Final Fantasy 16. But oh wait, there's more. Final Fantasy 7 Part 1's coming later this year. Oh, but wait, there's more. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is also coming. You know, I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be pretty sick. That would be the console war.
Yeah, I need some console war stuff, man. My channel runs off of fuel. I need fuel, baby.
That's some jet fuel right there.
Exactly. That'll give me 20 videos. Easy.
Yeah, my videos on pause right now. My console war videos.
And then here's Metal Gear.
Stay away from that. Leave that for me.
And then here's Metal Gear section. Because they did that last year at the last partner show. They had Metal Gear show up, right?
Yeah.
So then after Metal Gear shows up, you have Kojima show up again and talk about some other kind of new project that he's doing again.
The mercenary.
Yeah. That's the things that's the console war stuff, man.
That's the stuff I love, man.
That's the show. We know what kind of show King wants to see.
Dude, listen, dudes walk away from it. It's no fun, man, like that. Don't be all nice and easy. No. Murder, American murder. Let's have fun. Let's talk about it. Nah, the boo-boo. Let's do that, man. How about that life?
For sure.
Messy.
Fuzzy, what are we thinking? What do you think is going to be there, man?
I'm on board with this Square segment. Like,
yeah, me too.
Allow them to have a special appearance like they did at the Dev Direct with the Visions of Mana.
Mm-hmm.
But this time it's Final Fantasy 16 and the original remake of Final Fantasy 7, and maybe even the Pixel collection as well. Like, hey, where could you use the money? And there's enough people that are willing to kind of pick up those games and hey, make Square a centerpiece. That would be a nice visitor to that showcase tomorrow. But I'm also hoping Sega's there as well. I know they got Homeworld coming out here soon. They also have the what do you call it? The Phantasma. I forget the name of the game now, but that new game that they have coming out, I think it's coming out later this year as well. But maybe we get more of a precise release date or something along those lines. But hoping Replace is there. It would be nice if Hades 2 is there. I know it's coming to early access on PC, and Xbox has a preview program, so maybe we get Hades 2 early. But just the 3 games that they've already announced, I'm already excited for those. But these other 9 it's luck of the draw kind of thing, and we're going to be on the edge of the seat, kind of waiting to see what it is. But I'm really hoping Replace is one of those. Maybe it gets a release date. I know, like Mav said, Final Fantasy 14 is in the preview program now, and people are playing it. And they're having special events, so that kind of leads me to think that Square will be there, because there's a Final Fantasy 16 event in there that we get to participate in, and there's a Final Fantasy, I think, 15 event currently going on. So yeah, I think Square definitely makes an appearance. But man, it's anyone's guess.
I'm loving the energy right now. I'm loving the energy. Yeah. The energy is real Sith-like. I love it.
Darth Philius.
Darth Philius.
I mean, listen, I think Square could definitely be in there. You guys make good points. Sega, from the Dev Direct, right? The Square Enix, no one expected a third-party publisher to be there. And you could tell Phil really wants a better relationship with Square Enix and just Japanese publishers in general. That's something that he's mentioned in the past. It's something that I feel like Xbox could definitely use some more Japanese studios, and let's do it. I could definitely see that happening here. And,
we need more culture in our life. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, it's a little console worry thing for you, King.
What you got? For
all right. So what if, right?
Yeah.
We just heard Hiroki, Mr. Totoki, our business sucks guy, right?
Yeah.
He said we need to be more multi-platform and stuff, right?
I'm with that.
So PlayStation shows up at the partner preview.
Oh, buddy.
Bringing out Spider-Man.
Yo.
Saying, hey, you know what? We sold this game so many times. Our Last of Us Part 1 Xbox edition.
All right, okay, so
this game so many different ways. This is the only other way we can think of.
I would go with you on that if they didn't just put it for free with the reduced PlayStation 5 Slims. Like they cut the price on the PlayStation 5 Slim, put it in a box for free. I think that's cool. Until they put it on a service, that's exhausting all options, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, and then it still didn't launch on PC. So it has to launch on PC first. Excuse me. If everybody's wondering why I'm burping so much, I'm on an absolute crazy cleanse, right? So this crazy cleanse is no sugar, no salt, just mind-bending crap. So I want that right there. So yeah, so when everything leaves, it actually goes for real. But until they have not exhausted all options yet as far as getting avenues for money. I think they will go mobile before they go Microsoft. Yeah. That's the one M they would do first before they do the other M. The last M is like, that's when they have to submit to the dark side. And we're like, anger leads to the dark side. Let's go, Sony. Greed leads to the dark side. Come our way. We'll bring you money.
66.
Oh yeah, we already initiated that.
That was our old code.
You could see a trailer for the new MLB The Show here though, just because of the timing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. I like. See, Mav, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all dudes be acting like y'all don't like this console war stuff, but you got a lot of console war answers that I like. Like, yeah, we gonna put your baseball game first.
Yeah. I mean, timing wise, it's like
it does better on the Xbox, right?
It's like 6 times better or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Like, what's its release date? It's like coming up.
It's coming up
March 20th or something. Somewhere around there.
Show.
That show, I'm gonna have on a full baseball uniform when I do that video. Let's play some baseball. Let's go. Baseball has been very, very good to me. Y'all in trouble, son.
Yeah. So, man, that leads me to my second topic, and this one's a little divisive. We'll see what we all think, but I feel like I wanted to bring this topic up. Something me and Fuzzy kind of brought up, because I feel like most of us here are pretty level-headed about this compared to the community in a way, a little bit, and that is Xbox launching the 4 games into other services, right? So we had Pentiment from Obsidian, Hi-Fi Rush from Tango Gameworks, Grounded from Obsidian, and then Sea of Thieves coming from Rare. So I kind of explained in this last show of how I feel content creators in the community have reacted to this news, which goes into 3 different scenarios, which this is what I think, right? So, and I explained this in my last show, so Fuzzy knows what I'm talking about. So you have mode 1, where I hate the Xbox now. They've betrayed me. I'm throwing away my console in the trash. But I'm going to make sure that Garbage Man is not in there because I have to get that back. I'm going to get that back, right? So that's mode 1.
That's the mustard heart mode.
That's the mustard heart mode, right? And you got mode 2, where it's like, let's put our games everywhere. There's peace and love and kindness. We should share Halo and Starfield and Gears. Let's put it all love, peace, right? Let's put it everywhere. It's good for everyone. That's
the Diddy energy. I'm good.
that would be mode 2, right? And then the last mode is
got to tell didn't know.
Put it everywhere.
Take that.
Put that game everywhere. And then you got the last mode where I'm just sort of sitting back. I'm going to watch how this plays out and cement myself where I want to be according to value, right? So in those 3 modes, I feel like that's kind of where the community, the content creation community kind of have been reacting to this news. And I kind of got Fuzzy's views on this, but I really want to hear from y'all point of views, more so from the community side. Now, I think exclusives are important. There's a default mentality within the PlayStation community. This is what I believe the Xbox tax is, when developers prioritize the PlayStation and port it to the Xbox, or when you see 200 reviews for a game on PlayStation and like 10 for the Xbox. I believe that's the result of that Xbox tax that we hear about.
Yeah, of course.
So I've heard a range of comments from content creators saying exclusives are important. You're a shill if you don't think so. I've heard the Xbox brand is dead. That this showcase is finally a win. despite them having like a killer year. So my question to you guys, what are your thoughts on the community side to the Xbox launching games on other platforms? I'll lead that to Mav, and then we'll go to King, and we'll see what you guys think.
The community's crazy, bro. I started realizing when all this was going down, like the Mustard Heart thing, I had to look up what it was because people kept saying it and stuff. I was like, and I knew it must have had good, smart meaning because King came up with it, right? and then I was like, yeah, like these dudes are weak. They're weak. Like talking about how much they love something, promoting it, talking about how all these things benefit everybody for so long, preaching all this stuff, just saying how awesome it is, and then you just do one little thing, that you don't like. It's like, oh hell no, I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. That's too much for me. I can't take this no more from you, Xbox. And the crazy thing for me is this is when we're about to get the best stuff ever, man. Like all this stuff that they've been working on for so long is all going to be laid at our feet. They just got Activision Blizzard, and they're going to be putting all those games in Game Pass day one. And we have more access to our games than anybody else if you like Xbox. You have the promise of compatibility going forward. You have cross-save. You have cross-buy. You have all these things that other people don't get. And all of this stuff. And you are so upset that somebody else gets to play your game. You're like, screw it. I don't want it anymore. No, I don't want that. I want to get screwed. Because the people that are saying that are saying it's better for me to get screwed as a consumer because I want the company to be so strong and healthy that I worry more about them than myself.
God.
Right? And that is who they are, that they care more about the company than themselves, that they are willing to get shit on for the sake of the company. These people are crazy, dude. I don't understand. Now, I understand not agreeing with the business aspect of it and having some conversations there, right? Like, I think Xbox is selling themselves short on how much growth they can have in the console space long term, right? If they are continue to do these moves and make these kind of moves, right? But that's also, we have to look at things from the grander picture of who they are as a company now with everything that they got, with everything that they're doing. And I know people are afraid they're going to exit the console space, but they have more reasons than ever before to keep making consoles. And like just the common sense and rationale sometimes with the community is just out the window because of emotions, right? And like I see people going at each other's throats. I saw a lot of insiders that were dead wrong about stuff that incited a lot of this to begin with. And I saw a lot of actual information come out that ended up being true. And to tell you the truth, the stuff that's happened for me, mostly I don't really care, but business wise, I could talk about it, have a discussion. That I think overall, like, even though it's a shift somewhat with what Xbox is doing, I think the whole thing has been so overblown because everybody's losing sight of the bigger picture about everything we're about to be getting. Like everything we're about to be getting, all those freaking games. And they confirmed ABK games coming into Game Pass day one, which was one thing I had in my back of my mind. I was like, are they still going to keep with that? Right? Like, all of this, they didn't just say, hey guys, calm down. They doubled down on their whole philosophy and everything that they had been saying and everything that the Xbox guys have been preaching about and standing for so long. When they did that business update event 2024 podcast thing, they went there and they doubled down on it.
Yeah.
They called it fundamental to everything they're doing going forward. And if people are ready to jump ship and get emotional or just like say that, oh, the Xbox brand is dying because of all this stuff, then yeah, that's what a mustard heart is. that's I've completely learned different things about the community than I ever realized. I have been actually on Twitter and stuff less lately, just because it's just been chaos, dude. Like it's crazy, man. People have lost their damn minds. So community wise, that's what it is.
Yeah,
they lost their damn minds.
Good points.
Okay,
good points. All right, King. What do you think?
So people think that I sit here and I craft these things. I think these things up. No, I'm like Will Ferrell. Remember when he called that dude a cotton-headed ninny muggins? Like for me, and Elf, as long as you know, I laughed so hard in the movie theaters. I mean, tears was falling out my eyes. I was on the floor. I was rolling around. It was something that was so hilarious to me, and because it makes absolute zero sense. Like a cotton-headed ninny muggins. Like what the hell is that? But he said that because they did the background on Elf. He said that he just came up with it. That was something that he riffed off of. And, the mustard hearted thing, it's like a verse in the Bible, right? And it says, like God wants you to have the faith that starts off as the genesis of a mustard seed. If anybody knows what a mustard seed, it's very small. So when I say these dudes got a mustard heart, it's a mustard seed heart that is very small, and you're very weak and you're very infantile in your behavior as far as that. It was just something off the cuff that was really funny to me in my head. And I'm thinking about stupid stuff all day. I saw these dudes, and first of all, you can't be Xbox for life and something switches and then all of a sudden you switch. And then you just like, no, I want to delete myself off of this. This is not it. Or you're running with people that you was talking about. I think part and parcel to that is you've talked so much crap throughout all of these years. They have all of these receipts. You saying it'll never be on your platform. Yeah. And you can't handle your comeuppance. Like you can't handle it. So there's a psychotic break in these individuals knowing that how many people are laughing at you in unison. All is one. The difference between me and these mustard hearts is I'm not a mustard heart. I don't care. Like my phone actually does this. Off. What a concept, right? People like off. I won't block you unless you start cursing. You start cursing, I'm gonna block you. I won't delete anything. I won't delete a post. I'm gonna leave everything there. I let it last in infamy, and I'm gonna double down on it. Yeah, I want you to go buy the stuff. Excuse me. I want to slide over our old stuff to you. I want to see if you're about this game purchasing that I know you're not about. I've told people they don't buy games over there. They wouldn't be in the trouble that they're in right now. And the only reason why I know that is because I got stocks. So I understand exactly where you are that you don't know. So a lot of these dudes are talking from the aspect of a consumer. I was a consumer that had Atari. I remember packing bags, taking out people's trash, running to the store for older ladies and gentlemen in my projects to get money for E.T. the video game. Got $50 for E.T. the video game. Went down to Crazy Eddie's that was on 3rd Avenue in the Bronx, purchased the game, went home, had the game for 4 days. 4 days. I was like, I'm stuck in this pit. This game is trash. Let me take it back. And, back in the days, Crazy Eddie will buy your game back because Crazy Eddie was local. So go right down to Crazy Eddie, like, yo, this game isn't good. He said, nah, we ain't taking that. I'm like, what do you mean you ain't taking it? I'm a kid. I don't know. I'm like 10 to 12 years old. I don't know. And he's like, yeah, see, they're out of business. I said, what do you mean they're out of business? And I look and I see he has the Atari consoles in this bin on the floor for like more than half price off. It was like 90% off. You can get them for $5. And they had the games like Pitfall Harry and all this other stuff over here for $1. I just spent E.T. I just spent $50 4 days ago, and E.T. is $1 now. So little me got a harsh reality check right there, because I thought that the business was no stronger than this. You couldn't tell me Atari wasn't moving these streets with them sticks. Pause. They're outside. So I got it, and I'm like, this didn't just happen. I had to go learn to touch grass. This is the moment where touch grass happened to me. Like, nah, you get out of here. That's it. It's done. It's a wrap. You're done. And I'm like, wow, this is bugged out. So I'm seeing these guys now. They don't understand how the business works. Microsoft acquires the largest third-party developer that was in financial trouble. So if any of your companies in financial troubles, Daddy Phil is walking over there knocking on that door. I'm like, yo, I know you can't pay that rent this month. So listen here, Ma, we can do a couple of things that's strange for this change. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. Right? It's like, Daddy.
That's what was happening with Bethesda. I think a lot of people forget, like, Bethesda was headed in a direction where they start to have to make decisions with their games, like make it some more multiplayer type stuff, got to add more DLC to their games, like Wolfenstein. They had to make those decisions because their games are starting not to be as profitable.
Remember when they made Youngbloods?
Yep.
Yeah, like dudes don't realize where they were at when they came a knocking. Who got the bread? So Phil, got these guys to get them. I'm telling people this. You got Game Pass, shut up. Shut up and sit down. Enjoy the ride. Get Ultimate, $17 a month. You get games day and day. I don't care. Whatever goes over there. Now, 10-pole games. We ain't playing that. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. The Forza Gears and Halo, no, Halo multiplayer, excuse me. That should be everywhere. I don't care. That should be everywhere. The moment that you said that you want to make it free to play, when then you gave up all rights to say that it needs to stay here. And that should be free to play. The same way I feel with Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves should be absolutely everywhere. And I know it's a game of service. A game of service can only grow as big as its audience. And if you want the game to grow, if you actually care about the game and you want the game to grow, then you'll want that game to go someplace else. I didn't want Hi-Fi Rush on PlayStation just because my console wore BS. But yeah, if they're gonna pay, they can pay like they weigh. Let's get them. That's my thing. Like, yo, she gonna trick, let her trick hard. That type of thing. Yeah, you want a T-shirt? Yeah, good. Double up on her. Get her. Bring her over here. Two for you. Come over here. That type of thing. By nature, I'm about that bread. So if I see Microsoft doing something, and people got to realize they have financial analysts that understand the market. They knew where the downward turn was happening. Everybody's talking about the Xbox Series consoles is not as selling as good as the Xbox One. The Xbox One generation was in a better economic standing of us in the world. Right now, if I don't think dudes wrap this around their head, we are in such a crisis financially as a nation, as the world. We're looking at a market crash. They're testing things on us to see if we can fall for it so that we can be under some totalitarian government type regime. You guys are not understanding it. So these consoles aren't selling like they're supposed to sell. And y'all think that the PlayStation 5 is selling. It's not. This thing called buybacks. If you understand retail, you understand if certain things aren't selling, they go and they pick up what they sold you at a discount at crates. These are the reason why I show you pictures. Those pictures, I showed y'all pictures of consoles. Those wasn't scalpers. Those are people that they have in those countries watching over the consoles that they brought back in actual Sony warehouses. Yeah. Dudes don't understand how attach rates and stuff works, because if Sony was selling at the price range that they thought they would have, they wouldn't have any reductions, even though consoles did go up in certain areas. But the attach rate will be higher. I'm a money guy. You have to look at the attach rate per game, per console, to understand where the health is in your market. If you have a top-notch game, there's no reason. Sony has never had 100 million selling game, ever. But they have 100 million selling consoles. Make the math make sense. If you look at Nintendo, now here's a different beast. They can sell a console. The game would sell 2-to-1 on that console. I mean, outpacing the console. I know people that brought one Breath of the Wild and to hold in a case, and one to play. Make it make sense, but they make money. Microsoft understands where they need to be. The content creators that are talking doom and gloom and that over zesty positivity stuff, I'm not about that. I'm not about spreading myself all over the place. And
Now
you can
about
get whatever you
mode
want.
2 and 3 or 2
No.
and 1.
No. We're not. The Diddy energy is not over here. No, this is not brother love, and I'm not trying to hug everybody. Understand and never forget it. You are the ops, and you will be the ops until you are app. I want you an app, and after you're an app, we cool. We ain't got no more beef. After I bury you and throw you away, we are cool. But until y'all look like Sega, it is beef to the end. And I'm gonna rock with the people that got more money. It can spend you out of business. Shout out to Matt Booty that said we will spend you out of business. And if you think that mentality changed, you are sadly mistaken, sir, because those people were sitting up there. Those are the people that won that internal struggle, and those people want y'all to become an app. It's the other dudes that force these games to be someplace else. Don't ever get it twisted. Those dudes want you gone. They understand what you did. We don't like rats. We don't like snitches. And this is exactly what y'all guys was doing with that ABK deal. We don't rep rats. So that's my take.
Nice. Preaching the good word. All right, and I'm gonna get to Fuzzy, but let's get through some of these comments. People have been like chatting it up a storm as we've been talking. So to be the most prolific and sustainable games maker in the world, I think this is when Mav was talking. Yet some people want to fire Phil, sell consoles, and or abandon the ecosystem. I mean,
oh, they're about to have the buffet. Okay, let's get out now. Yeah, let's leave when the chicken is almost done.
Say, Mav, they're about to serve the dessert. And you want to go home?
Like we've been walking up to empty trays, getting scraps for years, and they're cooking like so much. They got the steak, they got the chicken, they got the shrimp, they got everything. They went and they're like, oh, guess what? We got a big crowd. Let's go ahead and like buy ABK. Let's like fill this buffet up even more, right? Just when we're about to get this feast, people are like, nah, I'm good because there's a couple people that were invited that we don't like, right? So I'm not gonna partake in this feast anymore. I'm out, right? They let too many people in the door.
The riffraff.
Right? Yeah, see that extra, you see that table over there, you see that Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, grounded table over there. Screw this. I'm out. You know. No, I agree. Like again, you know, it's like business wise, I don't really think it's like the best decision to do a lot of the stuff. You know, like going forward.
Yeah.
I think they're testing things. I think they're seeing what they want to do, what doesn't work, and what works for them. But like ultimately, you know, like it just. There's a lot of people that are just acting a little bit too
soft.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're at their own expense.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that
it doesn't make sense.
I agree. I think business wise, you can argue whether or not it makes sense. I think I was on C Money's show, and he made a point that each game could be a test for different things, like. And I didn't think about it in that way, where Sea of Thieves is a test for live service games, how that performs in other consoles. Game like
I think
Hi-Fi Rush
Sea of Thieves is a special case. The only reason why I think Sea of Thieves went over is because of Skull and Bones. I think if Skull and Bones didn't come out, because remember, Sea of Thieves was rocking that space by themselves. They didn't have another pirate game in that space that can actually challenge them that was on multi-console. The fact that Skull and Bones came out and is on multi-console and is doing a lot of different things that Sea of Thieves is not doing forces Microsoft to make sure that game is all over to show the diversity in that game opposed to that game, because those people that's looking for a seafaring game on a PlayStation platform that doesn't have access to that is definitely going to buy Skull and Bones. But now they have to make the choice between Sea of Thieves, something that is seasoned, something that has been there, something that has a whole bunch of DLC and everything that's available to it, a bunch of content, to something that is actually a skull and bones over there with nothing right now. And they didn't get ramped up yet. So I think it was more or less of a strategy to weaken Ubisoft in that area to make sure that they remove that game from the plate, opposed to anything else actually when it comes to that game.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm sure for each 4 of these games they were looking at different stuff. Like, why put a game like Pentiment over? That's that might, I mean, I don't think that's going to perform very well.
It just did a 96 on Metacritic. It gave an 86 on Xbox. This is a 10% bump. I mean, 10 point bump.
Wow.
When Xbox tax is not involved. That's how I know the hypocrisy is real. I think it was 96 or 92, one of the two.
Yeah, I mean, that's a result of the Xbox tax. You get way more reviews on the PlayStation side than the Xbox side.
One of the
That's
most
just-
graphically impressive games on the Switch is why.
Yo, you're ridiculous.
I know, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's impressive.
So let's get to a little bit more of these comments. You got Decado. He said, how people say vote with your wallet, but don't really follow it. Well, I'm 10 toes with my convictions. There was a comment somewhere I wanted to get through. You said Riggs Shower Passe 86 says having your work selling on your rival's block in a drought is only a bad thing on Twitter streets. You have Cypher Type kind of quoting KingDavid says the ops until an app. KingDavid, March 5, 2024. I guess he's quoting you there. The ops until an app. Good quotes, you guys. Appreciate your guys' comments. Try to catch up as it's going by pretty fast. So Fuzzy, I'll leave this topic to you. What do you think, man? What do you think about these games in the community?
I wasn't really a fan of it, but like it's just the dinosaur in me as far as the whole console space is concerned. But the one thing I wish that they would do is take some of their IP, like you got Crash Bandicoot now. What better way to share games when PlayStation is having a drought than to have somebody in a Crash Bandicoot costume outside of Sony headquarters saying, "Hey, we heard you had a dry spot. Here's some games. Come on out. We got 4 games for you." Kind of
Good
thing.
marketing
At least
opportunity.
poke fun at it, like kind of thing where show. I mean, I know they still have that fight in them, especially with like Matt Booty, like you said, King. Spend them out of business, but go ahead and take it to another level. Like that was like part of the thing that helped PlayStation in its early days with Crash Bandicoot outside Nintendo, use him to, poke fun at PlayStation while they're down. Like I think, if you had to put Aaron Greenberg in the costume, so be it, or whatever the case may be. I think that's the way you play it. Like there's always a way in messaging, and sometimes Microsoft's messaging is a little off. Like the whole 2013 thing, if they had explained that, okay, you'll be able to sell and trade your games or share them with friends and stuff like that, it would have probably worked out better considering everything that they talked about people do on the regular with streaming TV and stuff like that on their console. But like with this, if you say, hey, well, we got enough games. We got all these studios, all these games. It looks like the guys over in Team Blue are a little they're having a little drought right now. So we're sending Crash Bandicoot with a truck of games over there to kind of help them out, and so be it. And I think people would probably get a laugh at it. And
but does that damage relations with Sony when you want Helldivers and other stuff that's over there? Because remember, we live in a hypersensitive era where any bad press or any supposed slights negatively impacts your relations with that company.
True. But it seems like Sony always does the slight to Microsoft, and it almost feels like Microsoft can just, they can never do it the same. They always have to smile and, kind of grin and bear it kind of deal.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have a little brother?
No, I was the little brother.
You was the little brother. All right. Okay. So little brother, you can hit your older brother, but if your older brother hits you, you just yell out, "Ma!"
Yeah.
Ma!
Yeah. True.
So it got to the point where you would just hit him and he'd just look at you like, man, that's for the God. Right? Right?
Yeah.
So this is the FTC. The FTC is and this $1 billion company is talking to the $1 trillion company. You understand? So they can get away with a lot of stuff right now at the moment, and now we get a chance to see all the stuff that they're actually doing. I honestly believe that the stuff that we was doing back in the days, and I mean, I'm a gray beard, so I know the stuff that we were able to get away with, the stuff that we was able to say is no longer passable nowadays. We're living in a hypersensitive society, and we have to have the collapse of society in order to rebuild a strong society. These dudes are mustard hearts. I mean, all the way down to the last bit of their core. Do you think they would be able to take that? Those guys at IGN? Oh my God, Crash Bandicoot's over there. We got to form a petition on these dudes. Oh, they brought gays. Disrespectful. Sony would never. Yes, they did, but I'm just saying. You understand?
True. IGN would definitely be the ones out there with the pitchforks and everything talking about it. Like today with at least like the bigger news organizations, it's like they kind of forget how they used to integrate into this as far as the back and forth between companies and, make it where it's not just so one-sided. You would, cheer and jeer both brands or all the brands that are out there. But it just seems like now, because they're buttered or their bread is buttered by Team Blue right now. They can't say a bad word or boo about them, but Team Green, we could say
Fuzzy,
whatever.
PlayStation not having games.
Them off of listings for games coming day one to Game Pass and stuff.
Yep. PlayStation not having games is a really good thing until April.
Yeah,
it's a good thing.
It's beautiful.
Here's why it's genius.
Yeah. It's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful world.
They don't buy anyway, so I ain't worried about it. And in this downtrodden economy, oh man, it's just about to get worse. While I sit there and I have my buffet, y'all eating Popeye's biscuits.
No, I love everybody's view on that. I mean, we'll see what the media ends up doing over time. There is a mountain of Xbox games coming. It's just overwhelming what Xbox has in the pipeline, and I feel like there has to be a shift somewhat in the media, but hey, they've been on the Sony side for a while, where again it's that default mentality, like, oh, I have to play this on my Xbox. Oh man, that default mentality is very strong within the media.
Yeah.
So
take that.
Yeah. So once that goes away, then maybe, but
it don't go away until they go away. Like I believed in TurboGrafx until they were no longer on the shelves. That's it. And then I had to capitulate to whoever was next, and that was Super Nintendo. And I rode their coattails until they stole Final Fantasy with Sony, and I had to capitulate yet again. So these things happen, man. But an app is necessary in order to force change. You have to die in order to be reborn. Let's finish them off. Pause.
I've said before, right? I feel like the Xbox or all these different consoles, they're headed towards a future where it's going to become the ecosystem wars. Like which do you prefer? Like which ecosystem do you prefer? I feel like not in the near future, but eventually we're going to head there where you can just play Game Pass on your TV. I mean, you could kind of do that with certain TV brands right now. So
yeah,
I can imagine a future where people are like, I don't want to play my console. I'll just put it on the TV, play my Xbox, and then call it a day,
Little known fact, we had the Forza event that I was at, and I think they still have this branding, but it was Samsung televisions all across the room, and some TVs didn't have consoles, and we were able to play the game, and it said, play Xbox, no console needed. This is the whole end game for them. To not have to use these manufacturing plants, to not pay all the shipping costs, not to worry about distribution across the world, to hit you on your phone, to hit you on your television where terrestrial television is working in these places. That's the end game. That's the goal. Everybody wants to remove as much barriers as possible for entry. That's the cutting it down from $70 game to $17. Those type of things are allowing it to spread and be infectious in more places. And I believe that's the end game for everybody. It's just how each one is going to get there. You know, PC is definitely there. So,
but like, which out of the platform holders, right? Which company is more capable and ready to have that world? Like
Xbox.
It's Microsoft and Xbox and stuff we've been talking about for a long time. It's not that they don't see a console as still a valuable part of what they have now. It's just that over time, as technology progresses with where they're going with reaching more people, it becomes less of an important part of the ecosystem.
Yep.
Because really, that's the most expensive entry point. Really, like, you know what I mean? Like people use PCs for other things as well other than just gaming. So like a lot of people have PCs, but they don't see that as just necessarily a gaming purchase, right? When you have a console, you know, you're buying that as like, okay, I'm buying this to play video games. And I think the audience that is willing to do that has not grown in a long time. It's actually maybe potentially like lessened a little
Stagnant
bit.
Market.
Yeah, stagnant.
Like the PS2 was like the best selling console of all time, right? Like we're how many generations removed from that now?
Yeah.
But there, when you look at it and realize the gaming industry has still been growing, but the console sales haven't really increased. Obviously, people are playing games in other places than just consoles, right?
Yep.
And mobile is by far the biggest, and it's the biggest growth out there. And you have PC; it's been growing better than consoles, but then also you have the console market, right? But the console market is still going to be an important market for them for a long time. Why? Because console gamers love spending crap tons of money on video games, and until they can say that until it's no longer necessary, or the enthusiast audience just completely migrates or moves over and starts accepting more of those other avenues, they still want you to use their storefront.
Yep.
So they want to give us an access point, the console gamer that loves spending more money than anybody else on video games, access to buy stuff and not have to buy something where they're making 30 on another console where they're making 30% less.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're going to still give us that option for some of these games and maybe even more over the long period of time as they continue to evolve their business. But there's no like concern about the storefront and the ecosystem. Like that's the strongest aspect. And over time, the rest is more dictated by technology than anything else.
Yep.
And that's just the reality of it. Like people are like, we're so emotionally invested into I want to buy a box and I want them to make games for my box and I want to have that box my purchase validated, right? For that box, right? I want to feel special for making that decision, because it was the decision that I made over a different thing, right? Yeah. And I'm going to go on social media and I'm going to argue about it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell about my decision was better than yours, dumbass. I'm going to go out there and say how much better I am than you and how much smarter I am than you for loving the thing that I love, for deciding to buy the thing that I bought, right? Over time, all that will melt away because the access point was less expensive, right?
Yep.
And then over time, we aren't going to care because we are not validating purchases. We're going to be validating our time. We're going to be validating how much time we invest in playing this game or for that game. I think kids today, like, man,
engagement.
You gotta get an iPhone to play Roblox, because you know what? That Android plays Roblox really bad. Nobody cares.
No one's like that.
Nobody cares about that aspect when it comes to, like, it's just different access points. And as the access point over a long period of time diminishes to where it's less difficult for us to get into games, all that's going to melt away. But until that happens, you can rest assured that we're still going to have hardware for a long time. So
sure.
Not that long. We got one more cycle.
One more. But that's so long now, King.
No, actually, it's not, because when Hiroki Totoki came out and said that the PlayStation 5 is at the end of its cycle, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? I just got this piece of thing, and this thing hasn't lived up to any of its potential. Same thing with Microsoft. If any of you guys, they talking about 2026, I'm like, boy, that's 2 years from now. You didn't live up to the possibilities of this box at all. Like this box right here, I have not seen 12 teraflops yet. So what's up? Like, where we at with this? And I want to see the power of the SSD. Y'all been lying to me forever. Like, when are y'all going to leverage something? Like, what's going on here? And I'm looking at both of them, and I'm like, both of y'all starting to look the same to me. Y'all dudes is weirdos, and I want my $500 purchase validated. I want validation here because y'all told me one thing, and it ain't happening. Like, both of you dudes. Like, both of you dudes y'all need to put up. Remember when you got your PlayStation, you saw Metal Gear Solid and you saw that boat, you was like, oh, this is it right here. Or when you saw Madden for the first time and they had those big black eyes and they had the shiny ball helmet. The helmet was smooth.
I remember the snow. You remember that, King?
Yes.
It was like the snow trailer. I think it was for the 360, I think.
You know what the people out there should really be asking for? They should be asking Sony to validate their purchases of the PSVR 2. That's really what the
thing is dead.
Validation. We try to tell them, man. We try to warn them.
I told them it was a passion project a long time ago. That thing is dead. They opened it up to the PC. They was like, yeah, have at it.
Yeah, they should have bought a MetaQuest 3 instead.
After they fired all the VR people, they're like, all right.
Do what thou wilt with this machine. It was Jim's passion project. The Portal, just the same thing. Do what thou wilt. We just want to count it as console sales. This is the okie doke. The biggest okie doke. PlayStation sold 50-something million. Was those VR units? Was those portals? Was those consoles? What's happening here? Like, what are you counting? I need to know what you're counting, because y'all are not counting just consoles. So let's say it's like 5 million went over to Portal. Let's say 3 million went over to the VR. So you're looking at 8 million right there that has to be minused out of this thing. Then you got to look at buybacks. It's different things in how the shenanigans are happening. What's going on with Microsoft? How come you're not telling me how many Series X is sold versus how many Series S is sold? What's going on here? Like, what's going on? Because why? You want to sell more Series S's because it's digital and these guys can only purchase from one place. Mm-hmm. That's the death of GameStop. My GameStop just closed. But people got to look at the shenanigans of these two, right? And you're going to have a Series X come out this summer or in September or whatever, and it's going to be all digital. Same thing with the PlayStation 5 Pro. It's going to be all digital. And hey, for you guys that's going to whine and cry, we're going to give you this little physical disk drive expansion thing that you can spend $70 to $100 on, that we only cost us $8 to make, but we're going to quadruple the money on you because y'all are stupid, and we're going to take as much as we can from you, but we're not going to give you back anything. We're going to sell you the same thing and take out the disk drive to make you locked into this ecosystem, and you're not going anywhere because you got 1,000 games you purchased digitally and you're stuck.
I asked this question the other day in Mad Stream. What was the last physical game you bought, King?
It was a PlayStation game.
It was a PlayStation.
I don't trust him, bro. I don't trust him. I don't trust it. It was Rebirth. Okay. I just ordered it from Amazon. So dudes is upset with me because they think I don't. I paid my $5, and so actually I brought, was it 5 PlayStation 5s day one? I'm a scalper, bro. I'll make this money.
Yeah.
And I kept my PlayStation. Big Bertha, I got the Big Bertha. She's over there. She's nice. Swole. She like to eat. I got her over there. like a big bone dad, so I don't need no Slim Chick.
Yeah, I see your statue back there. It's sick.
Yeah, for sure. So it's PlayStation because I don't trust them. And then Nintendo, I'm just starting to trust them. So usually I'll do a little physical with them, and maybe I might slide over. The Breath of the Wild 2 was digital, but all my Xbox stuff, digital. Oh,
Yeah.
I trust them because they're gonna stay around because Xbox is number 2 in the ecosystem, bringing in money, so they ain't gonna let that go away. I'm good. I'm safe over
for sure. And a lot of people always bring up the physical console sales, and usually they bring up the UK, which Xbox doesn't do very well in the UK. But
I wonder why.
there's you have the Sony CEO say like, hey, you shouldn't pay attention to our hardware sales. We want to start paying attention to our digital, a subscription model for PlayStation. But you have constantly PlayStation fans like, hey, look at those console sales. Look at those console sales.
They don't make any money on consoles.
No,
that's
like
the thing.
They make revenue.
Mhm.
That does not necessarily mean profit. And
Tell
I
them,
think,
man.
think other people understand this. It is like, unless you're selling, like the boxes are sold as storefronts to an ecosystem. That
There
is
you
the
go.
purpose of their existence from the business perspective, right? When they launch, they lose money on these things when each unit that they sell. Because of the way that the economy and parts and everything has gone the last several years, they are not making like they should on consoles like in year 4 now, comparatively to what they would have been in a normal cycle.
Yep.
We haven't seen, like, normally they're able to even drop the prices to move more units, but like they're not able to because of the prices of the hardware. Is just so much money for them to make. Everything's more expensive. So when people talk about, oh, it's amazing how many consoles they sell, it's like, that's great if they're selling the software and they're making their money in all of those regards, right? Based on the amount of hardware that they sell. But like, if you're not moving software, that's what the game's all about. And that's where they've been struggling. Like when they had all those financials before, we were even breaking. I remember like it was like a year and a half ago or a year ago, like they had financials where like their hardware was up, but their content and services were down.
Yeah.
And their software sales were down. But like on Xboxes, like it was their hardware was down, but their content and services and software was up. Right. And those came out like roughly within like a week of each other. And people were like, oh, PlayStation's like, well, yeah, the hardware's up. Yeah. I'm like they're not making any money on the hardware. That's not profit. That is not profit. In fact, a lot of times they lose money for every box that they sell. So like, yeah, it may help your revenue numbers because that's just like adding all the value of everything you sold up. So if you're selling higher price boxes more, it's going to help your revenue. It doesn't help your profit percentage.
They're making sneaker money. You hear me? They're making Air Force One money. That's it.
So it's just like it's a misconception about, I think,
It really
understanding
is a
of the
misconception.
business. And
They don't know that.
so like,
And they only buy one, Mav. This is the ones that kill me. They are the only one. They buy one, and they usually buy it secondhand from their friend who actually made the real purchase, or they actually brought it from some pawn shop or something when it was on sale. And PlayStation sold 50 million, bruh. You're borrowing yours.
yeah. And
Like,
I don't
what's up?
care how many freaking boxes I sell. I care about what games that are coming out for them.
Facts.
What games I have access to. What
Mav.
what kind of deal I get on my investment is like into the ecosystem. Like that's what I care about. This guy quality, how much bang for my buck am I getting, right? That's why I have 6 Xboxes. I wouldn't even attempt to have 6 PlayStations in the same house.
Yo, tell the truth, shame the devil. Tell the truth, shame the devil, man. This is the facts. This is the absolute fact. He said he got 6, right? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, exactly. I got 5, right? Think about that. How many PlayStations I got? Uno más.
I got
Uno
one
más.
PlayStation.
I don't need you in multiple areas in this household.
That's my Netflix right now. My Netflix player. Right now.
See that? You see that? You see that? You see that? For some other people, it's CornHub. But I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know.
Well, actually, on that King, real quick, it's very surprising, like how CornHub is the number one thing on PS5 when they ban the browser. So that means they are looking
Hacking and
hard.
slashing, baby. Hacking and slashing,
Because
baby.
you can't even, they disabled the browser. So that means you got to look deep inside of PlayStation to even use that thing. So
They are down to the matter. What do you mean I can't access this?
what do you mean?
Why do you think they had it where you can blow on the controller?
Yo,
Oh.
hey, this is true. This
There
is
we
true.
go.
They
There
do
we
have
go.
that feature. I'm waiting for Smell-O-Vision next. I'm just saying, stuff like this is happening over there. These guys is working very hard in their space. But it's very hard to get a hood dude that don't know anything about electronics, engineering, anything, browsers, IT, any of that, to get that to work over there. He's taking it to his boy house. You know, the nerd dude that said, "Don't worry, I got you. You said that you couldn't access this. Wait a second. All right, hold on. Let me carry the I. All right, Dr. T. All right, there you go. That's it. There you go. You're good. So I have access. Absolutely. Yes. Your subscription service is in. Now, what I want you to do is anytime an update pop up, you say no, okay? You say no. If you say yes, you'll be back here to me. But make sure you get your CornHub on properly, right? Yeah.
Like
It's impossible.
the whole backstory.
It's impossible.
Oh man. All right, so we're in Zoom, right? So I need you guys to just test something for me. So
All right.
in Zoom, there's a reaction button, right? Is a thumbs up. Let's see if you guys can just get to work before I move on to this next.
I
thing.
see AI stuff.
All right, so Mav, you got the thumbs up.
Oh, how do you
It-
get that? How
I
you
think
get that, man?
it's are you on the phone or the computer?
No, I'm on the computer.
Really?
Really? How many times I showed you my phone, bro?
Oh yeah. All right, so the three dots. Is that how you guys do it? Is that how you did, Mav?
Yeah, if you make Zoom full screen,
Oh, it's three dots
there's-
over here
there's
next
a-
to your name.
there's a thing on the bottom bar, and it just says reactions.
Okay,
On the
hold
very
on.
bottom
Let
bar.
me make
You
it
may have
full
to move
screen.
your hat. You may have to
Oh.
move your
Oh,
mouse.
I see it. Okay.
Okay, so you guys see it. All right, cool.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, you see that too? All right, Fuzzy, you got the thumbs up.
Yeah, okay.
All right, cool. All right, so the reason why I wanted you guys to just test that out real quick, because we're gonna play a little game. All right, so I'm gonna pull this up. This is the PXE Showdown. It's a trivia show where we're going through your knowledge as a gamer and or comic nerd. If you don't know these questions, you guys can retire your gamer card at the door. So these are the rules to the game show. You got rule number 1. You're gonna try your best not to look at the chat for answers. Now people
I'm
in the
full
chat.
screen right now. I got rid of the chat.
Okay. So people in the chat, you guys can participate. That is perfectly fine. All right. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, in order for you to be eligible to answer, you must buzz in, which includes doing the Zoom raise your hand. First person to do it, I will call upon you. We will not be shouting the answers out and all this different stuff. Rule number 3, hands off the keyboard. We will not be looking these answers up. All right, let's make this fun and test out your gaming knowledge.
Let me see your palms.
Palms, everything. Right, so we're gonna make sure all these rules are in place. So everybody here, you adhere to these rules. You guys agree?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So contestants, are you guys ready for the PXE Showdown?
Let's get it.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
I think.
All right.
Maybe.
All right, well, let's go. Number 1. What is Peter Parker's full name? Now, I'm going to go through all of it, and then you guys can answer. A, Peter Clive Parker. B, Peter Benjamin Parker. Or C, Peter May Parker. Okay, King, you have your thumb? Which one is it?
Peter Benjamin Parker.
And you are correct. Yep, it is Peter Benjamin Parker off of his Uncle Ben.
No, there's a whole more sinister story to that. But anyway.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Clive.
You gonna say Clive?
No, it is. I will tell you later 3-bit exactly why his name is
Okay.
crazy.
Number 2, we got in the OG Halo. Whose helmet recorder captured the UNSC's encounter with the Flood? We got A, Sergeant Johnson. We got B, Private Jenkins, and C, Captain Keyes. Which which one was? All right, Mav, I see your hands up.
Jensen.
All right, you say Private Johnson? Johnson?
No. What was the second guy's name?
Jenkins.
Jenkins. Yeah.
Okay,
Jenkins.
yeah. And
Bobby Jenkins.
That is correct. It is Private Jenkins. He was the one in Halo 1. All right, let's go straight to the next one. What is Sonic the Hedgehog's real name in the comics? We got A, Blue Devil, B, Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog, or C, Mr. Needlemouse. Which one is it?
Bro. Do we minus out if we get it wrong?
Hey, we don't know. No one got
anything. I'm not doing that.
All right, Matt, what do you think it is?
All right, I wanted to say Blue Devil because they call him that in the movie.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm not. I'm gonna go with B, the second one, because it's too random.
Okay. And it is B. It is B.
There
Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog is Sonic's real name. Sonic's middle name was first revealed as Maurice in Archie Sonic miniseries issue 0. Then again in STH 53 when Jules was looking for Sonic, she said Ogilvy Maurice Sonic. All right, cool.
So
you got
next
that.
time I see Sonic, I'm gonna be like, yo, Maurice.
Yeah.
It's such a weird name. All right, we got another one. In Modern Warfare 3, what was the name of Captain Price's elite group? You got A, Task Force 117, B, Task Force Delta, or C, Task Force 141.
I gotta do that.
All right, Mav. Dang, Mav was quick with the
Task Force 141.
All right, yep. It is Task Force 141, a joint multinational group counterterrorism military unit from John Price. All right, we got a pixel bonus round. This time is worth 2 points. All right.
Oh.
So you have a chance. It's only one question though. Because we gotta make sure the show's not too long, but we got a pixel bonus is worth 2
I got a 9 o'clock.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. Which was the first video game to be played in space? We got A, Tetris, B, Space Invaders, C, Super Mario Brothers, E, Galaga, or D, none of the above.
Oh, you put a none of the above in there?
I
That's
did.
cool.
Yeah. All right, King, what do you say?
None of the above.
Okay, none of the above. I'm gonna let you guys all answer this one, but King, you went first, so your thing is in the check mark.
I would have loved to say Galaga. It would be good.
Okay.
All right, Matt.
Tetris.
All right, you say Tetris.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
it was Tetris. Oh, yes, it was Tetris. Oh,
and
yes,
is that what you say,
it
Fuzz?
was.
I was thinking Galaga.
Okay.
I'll stick with that one.
Okay. So, and I'm looking at the chat. People saying A, C, and B. The correct answer for this last one is... It is Tetris, yes.
Yes, Tetris.
Yep.
I forgot. Yeah, because soon as I stupidly said none of the above, it was the music played in my head, and I was like, yeah, I remember there was a star, man. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records for that. Why did I let that slip my brain, bro?
Tetris was the very first video game ever played in outer space. It was Tetris on the Game Boy, 1993. A Russian cosmonaut, Serebrov, I don't know how to say his name, enjoyed the classic. Yep.
Guys got to think about the portability.
He was in the upper atmosphere, you know. Yeah, we ain't never make it out there, but he was in the upper atmosphere. The moon landing is a fake. Don't fall for it.
And
These guys can't break the firmament. Don't listen to this stuff.
Props to Fuzzy. Yeah, Cypher said props to Fuzzy for staying honest with his answer. For sure. So
These are high
appreciate
thoughts.
y'all coming to the PXE showdown. We're gonna be doing these every once in a while. Some answers. The prize will be to both King and Mav just for dropping on by. It'll be this. It's a gift card. So you guys will get a $25 gift card. Both of you guys.
I'm showing up tomorrow. We playing again? That's Game Pass for a month, people.
Yep, you guys actually win something. So, you know, I'm gonna have these hard questions every time I do one of these.
Pause.
But appreciate you guys for coming on.
Why does King get one? Because I slaughtered his ass.
Hey. First of all,
Hey,
Mav. First of all, Mav.
One, I think.
First of all, Mav.
I mean, yeah, you'll be getting this.
It's okay.
First of all, Mav, you are on my TV. That's enough. All right, enough with you infiltrating my life.
I appreciate it.
All right. I go to sleep with your little voice in my head. That's crazy. I wake up going to the bathroom. Mav is like, yeah, I'm walking down the corridor. I'm like, yo.
And Mav he has FSP. We got the fun pop. You know, appreciate it.
I like when he's streaming. I swear to God, it's crazy.
Yeah,
like he be into it.
So I did have one more topic, but we run out of time. So I'm gonna get you guys on out of here. Appreciate y'all for coming on by. Everybody in the chat, you guys are amazing. You guys had amazing conversations in here. Thanks for coming to my trivia night. Love y'all. Let's get on out of here. So King, tell us where everyone can find you on your social channels.
Oh, okay. You can find me on Twitter, KingDavid OTW. Same thing with me on Xbox, PlayStation. It used to be Xbox 360 level 1. I turned it into something else because I got locked out of my account. I think PlayStation hates me. You can find me on Xbox Frontline News, where we try to play the Game Pass as much as possible. Videos is dropping daily. Not tonight because I am here, but tomorrow, Iron Lords podcast, we will be streaming and giving a live reaction to the Xbox Partner Preview Showcase, which should be a ton of fun. If you liked anything I've done here, I'm an absolute nutcase. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I did not grow up, and I refuse to do so. So don't let the gray beard fool you. Trust me, I'm younger than you. And that's about it. Oh, Fridays, live call-in shows where we give away coins, people. We give away coins. So just the same way as 3-Bit just gave away some bread, I give away coins to members. So if you're a member of Xbox Frontline, every week, bar none, is a call-in show. If you was watching the show right now and we had a call-in portion, you could call into the show if you disagree with anything that I said. If you're a PlayStation dude and you really don't like anything that I said and it hurts your feeling, please talk to me. I will never be disrespectful. I will treat you with kindness. Not a Diddy hug, but just a regular hug. But just come on through.
Appreciate you. And Mav, tell us where people can find you on social media, man.
Fun speculation. It's awesome that you had me here again, 3-Bit. Appreciate you. It's cool hanging out with King. But tomorrow, man, we got also we're doing a co-stream for the partner preview thing. Mr. Boomstick's coming out to hang out with us tomorrow for that. Thursday, PM in the PM, 7 p.m. Eastern time with Pong Soul and I. Friday, Xbox Ultimate Podcast, and then Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern time over on Fun Speculation for FSP. I appreciate you. And guys can catch Fuzzy there a lot too. Well, he's awesome. Thanks, Fuzz.
And Fuzzy, you know, tell people where people can tell others where people can find you.
Just wanted to say it was awesome being on here with KingDavid and Mav and with you, 3-Bit. This was an awesome show. So glad you guys stopped by. Thanks to everybody in the chat for checking us out. Greatly appreciate it. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. For those who want to hear my rambles and rants on anything gaming related, just follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Fuzzy_Belvedere. You can also find me on Double Barrel Gaming, 10 a.m. on Breakfast with Boom on Friday, Xbox Ultimate, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fun Speculations channel, Shop Podcasts on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on PTK Blam's channel, and then right back here for Pixelated Echoes on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look forward to seeing you guys there. Thanks again.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all. People in the chat saying they like my A hat. Let's go.
That's right.
It stands for asshole.
It stands for Atlanta because he's Lakeith Stanfield's stunt double in all his shows. Don't be fooled, people.
Lakeith is me. Lakeith is me. Now, if you guys enjoyed this podcast, be sure to hit that subscribe button for future listeners and our on-demand peeps who are living in the future. First off, you got through this entire show with all of us is talking video games, and we love doing it. So appreciate you guys watching the show. If you agreed with us or not, let us know in the comment section down below. Let us know, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of Pixelated Echoes. See you guys.
Peace.